European teams are passive, American teams are aggressive. There's an amusing crab, meditation on Hercules. I don't know what all this means. I need a freaking MOBA expert. Oh, hey Chris.
Hey Wes.
Hello and welcome everyone to all those here at the Cobb Energy Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and to all the people around the world watching from home. This is the Smite World Championships powered by Curse.
So I'm gonna go cover the tournament now.
Cool. See ya. All right, how far did you guys come for this tournament?
And 5 days.
5 days, where'd you come from?
Brazil. Ha! Brazil, of course.
Why do you play Smite as opposed to League or Dota, the other big MOBAs?
I think this is Smite. I don't play MOBA. You don't play MOBA?
You're just here for fun?
Yeah.
You're just here for fun? I think he's just here for fun too. If you could be one god from Smite, and if you don't play Smite, one superhero also acceptable, who would you be?
With Brazilian Spider-Man or Wonder Boy, the new skin of...
Yeah, Brazilian Spider-Man, the next god.
Okay.
Can I keep this?
Of course not.
All right, Lasses, you're captain Team Dignitas. How have you been enjoying the Smite tournament this year? I know you guys aren't in it, but are you having fun?
Having a blast, meeting everybody, supporting all the teams, and just having a great time with everyone.
Sorry, ignore Brazilian Spider-Man. We talked to him earlier. He's just doing his own thing. So how far did you guys come to this tournament this year?
Well, a few of us came from actually nearby, Mississippi, Florida, and actually that's about it. We all came just from nearby states.
So you guys aren't too far. If you could be one god in Smite, in real life, who would you pick?
I mean, I had to go Hercules.
Explain why Hercules.
I mean, the guy who lift up boulders, man, just throw them at people. That'd be great.
You just want to kill people with boulders?
Here and there.
You just want to be able to think, just fantasize about it.
Yes.
Okay, last question. What should we expect from Dignitas 2015 and Smite?
Well, we are going to be getting a gaming house, so we're going to try and pump things up to the next level and really take things like a full-time job and, you know, hopefully show up next year.
All right, thanks for talking to us, Lazes. Spider-Man, we're done now. We can cut.
$1.3 million is on the line, and it all comes down to one game. It's game number 5 in the grand finals. $1.3 million going to the victor, and we are underway. They're the number 2 seed out of North America. They have the hometown favorite Barracuda. It is Cognitive Gaming. They have battled back from a 2-0 game deficit. They're wearing the red trunks. It is Titan! Ripping through! Titan down, falls 3! A double kill for himself! It's a 5-man! They're gonna go for the win! Pushing down the mid lane is gone! Looking for $1.3 million! And this could be it!
I just don't know how they can stop the 5. One tower remains as one Phoenix falls, and they're gonna go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
world champions, Continent Prime, GG!
Hey, I'm here with Stu and Todd from High Res at the end of the Smite World Championship. We just watched the end of the tournament. We've been here all weekend. And as anybody who watched this year's tournament and the launch tournament you guys had last year, which I was also at, things have changed a little bit since then. In a much smaller venue, fewer teams. You had teams from all around the world this time. Can you guys tell me a little bit about what you've been doing over the past year at High Res with the game to go from where it was a year ago to where it is right now?
Our employees, our office space, and the venue has more than doubled. So as you mentioned, the launch tournament was a great start for Smite, I think. It was really good competition, and it was great to have community there. But this year, we were just blown away first at how hard the community came out in support of the game and raising the prize pool to well above our expectations.
2.6 million.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, the third largest prize pool of all time in esports history. And given that it's our first season of competitive play, again, it was just honestly way above where we thought it would come in at.
What have been the big priorities and big milestones that you've hit since the 1.0 launch?
I would say, the first set of gods that you put into the game are kind of around getting some base mechanics into the game. So we've really been trying to find gods that have some really unique play styles and just really capitalize on the game's action-oriented play, and also just from a meta standpoint, help fill niche roles. Meta in Smite is far from stale. There's a good set of gods that can perform very well.
Do you put in a lot of thought into those tiers of gods? You'll have people online say like Ares is low tier. Clearly, it's not that cut and dry. But is that something that you're constantly you're working on to balance, try to keep everybody on the same tier, or keep those tier margins very, very narrow?
Yeah, actually, we have a very combative meeting every Monday. We basically get a group of different people, some that are representing the community as a whole, some that are representing more of the professional community and the high tier type of players, and we just go at it on game balance. And it's I always have to, if I'm not there, I always have to knock on the door after a couple hours and say, guys, I think you talked it through, it's time to come out. Because it's really it's something we take very seriously. And it's something we collect a lot of data around.
I'd like to hear a little bit about that production team you guys have, because I think it's really interesting that of a studio of 150 people or so, you have an in-house production team who really are responsible for pulling this thing off, doing all the camera stuff, the live stream stuff, the casting stuff, and it pretty much went off without a hitch. For the viewers, it was a really smooth production. When did you guys know that you wanted to have that team in-house, and how did you cultivate that team, and what did they do to make this whole thing work?
Yeah, I think we really benefited from the fact that we embraced video production really early in the life cycle of Smite, and for us as an independent studio, we saw video as a way to connect directly with our fans, for them to get to know us as a studio, and we of course see the comments or the interactive chat on Twitch that helps us as a development organization, and of course the Twitch stream, which we've embraced pretty early and aggressively, being the first studio to have our own channel, and also then to do 24/7 streaming of the game. So of course, by setting those aggressive goals, we needed to find people with those capabilities around video production, video streaming, project management, technical direction, just a lot of capabilities that you wouldn't typically find in a video game company, right? You'd find it at a sports broadcasting company. And so we've had a ton of learning. Our first tournaments in beta were Bart from his bedroom with an unmade bed behind him, literally, right? And so now we're here, in such a short period of time, and it's been just the result of finding people who were passionate about that, 50%, I would say, or more of the folks involved with it have been pulled from the community, and they had a passion around putting on events like this and a passion around the game.
On that subject, last thing I want to sneak in, for the community, I thought it was a really unique and wonderful idea to have amateur players have an opportunity to be in that wild card, make it into the event, and clearly it worked out. Titan this close to taking it. Can you talk about whose idea that was and how that kind of became such a essential part of this event?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was really kind of coming out of the launch tournament again last year. Previous to the launch tournament, our overall competitive scene had mostly revolved around weekly open tournaments that then had a point system behind it. So at any point in time, new players and new teams could come onto the scene and compete. We wanted to evolve our competitive scene kind of to the next level by having a full pro league, both in Europe and North America. But we had seen from those weekly tournaments that it was just a great way to identify and find amazing Smite players, and we didn't want to lose that magic. So what we did is we set up a format where we had a 6-team pro league in each region, so 6 teams in North America, 6 teams in Europe, and then we complemented that with with basically continuing our weekly open tournament series. And for our regional championships, the North American Championship and the European Championship, we said, let the top 2 teams from the Challenger Cup, the amateur league basically, play the bottom 2 teams from the pro league, and if they win, they get a chance to come to the regional championships and compete for a slot here.
All right, Stu, Todd, thanks for talking to me. That's it for Smite World Championship 2015. We're looking forward to seeing what happens the next year. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Wes.
Good tournament?
Yeah.
Me too.
Where the fuck's my drink?